question of how serious the threat from Russia is has once again become a defining issue for global security, as ongoing conflicts, military signaling, and diplomatic confrontations keep Moscow at the center of international concern. Russia's status as a major military power is built on decades of investment in armed forces, including modernized tanks, air defense systems, long-range missiles, and a vast nuclear arsenal that remains the largest in the world. This combination gives Russia the ability to project power not only across its immediate borders but also far beyond its region, shaping strategic calculations in Europe, Asia, and even North America. In recent years, Russia has demonstrated a willingness to use force to pursue its political and security objectives, challenging long-standing assumptions about stability on the European continent. These actions have pushed many countries to rethink their defense policies, increase military spending, and strengthen alliances such as NATO. As a result, the perceived threat from Russia is no longer viewed as hypothetical. It is increasingly seen as a real and evolving risk that influences military planning, diplomatic engagement, and the overall balance of power in today's international system. For countries closest to Russia, the sense of danger is often shaped by geography and history, making the threat feel immediate rather than abstract. Nations along Russia's borders closely monitor troop deployments, large-scale military exercises, and the movement of advanced weapons systems, all of which can signal readiness for rapid escalation. Airspace violations, naval incidents, and aggressive patrols have further heightened anxiety, forcing neighboring states to maintain high alert levels and invest heavily in defense and early warning systems. Beyond conventional military pressure, Russia's use of hybrid warfare has deepened concerns. Cyberattacks targeting government networks, energy grids, and financial systems have shown how disruption can be achieved without firing a single shot. Disinformation campaigns and propaganda, often spread through social media and state-linked media outlets, aim to divide societies, undermine confidence in democratic institutions, and weaken political cohesion. Combined with economic tools such as trade restrictions and energy leverage, these tactics expand the threat landscape, making it harder for affected countries to respond in clear, traditional ways. On the wider global stage, Russia's challenge extends well beyond direct military confrontation and reflects a broader strategy to reshape international influence. By positioning itself as a counterweight to Western power, Moscow seeks to test the unity and credibility of alliances such as NATO and the European Union, often probing for political fractures and inconsistent responses. Diplomatic maneuvering, strategic partnerships with non-Western states, and active engagement in international forums are used to amplify Russia's voice and limit Western dominance in global decision-making. Russia has also expanded its reach through involvement in conflicts and political processes far from Europe. Its military presence and political influence in parts of the Middle East, Africa, and the Arctic underline ambitions to secure long-term strategic footholds, access resources, and project power globally. At the same time, energy exports remain a key instrument of influence, allowing Russia to exert pressure during periods of instability by manipulating supplier pricing. Together, these military, political, and economic tools make Russia's global posture a complex and persistent challenge that goes beyond traditional notions of threat. Despite the scale of concern surrounding Russia, many analysts emphasize that its power is not without limits and faces growing internal and external pressures. Economic sanctions, restricted access to advanced technology, and reduced foreign investment have placed long-term strain on Russia's economy, limiting its ability to sustain prolonged confrontation on multiple fronts. Demographic decline, labor shortages, and social pressures also pose structural challenges that could weaken Russia's capacity to project power over time. At the same time, the international response, through deterrence, diplomatic engagement, and collective security measures, has played a role in containing risks and preventing wider escalation. NATO's reinforced presence in Eastern Europe, increased defense cooperation among allied nations, and continued diplomatic channels serve as both a warning and a stabilizing force. While the threat from Russia remains serious, Particularly for Europe and neighboring regions, it is shaped by a balance between ambition and constraint. The future trajectory will depend on whether confrontation hardens further or whether dialogue and negotiated solutions can reduce tensions and restore a measure of stability.